We now welcome in one of our all-time favorites. He is the BYU basketball radio analyst, fantastic personality, and friend of the program, Mark Durrant. Mark, great to see you this morning. How are you?
Boys, it's always wonderful to see you. I apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but nothing, guys, was going to keep me from coming on the show with my two best friends.
We appreciate your dedication to the craft and to this friendship for sure. Let's start with the NCAA tournament, Mark, and bracket filling. How many brackets do you fill out on an annual basis?
You know, I don't go overboard with the brackets. I usually fill out one, maybe two if I'm, feeling frisky. But I always do pretty good, but I never win. It's depressing. Maybe analogous to this year's team. I always do pretty good, but just didn't quite have enough to get over the top.
Yeah, when my 3-year-old Tate last year at St. Peter's going to the ship, I was like, hey, that was a nice one, man. You also have no clue what's going on. Neither do I. Okay, we were just talking about it in what's trending. The off-season priorities for BYU basketball. Where do they begin, and what's included in that, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, that's a tall task, and kind of literally a tall task. I think number one is you need to get some size, you need to get some bodies. I think you can get away with being a little bit smaller in the West Coast Conference, but you're going to need to bring in at least a couple big 6'11", 7-foot guys. I don't think it's realistic to think that Foos can play the 5 in the Big 12. Maybe he could. I mean, Foos is amazing at what he's able to do, but defensively and rebounding, you need to have some size. You need to be able to throw some bodies, and so you need to go find some big guys that can play in the post and get some rebounds and play defense and be able to compete physically in the Big 12 type of games. And then, BYU's always probably not going to get the best athletes, but they should be able to get some really good shooters. And I think this team was a decent shooting team, but not great. And I think the great equalizer in college basketball for a team like BYU would be to be able to shoot the 3 really well. You think of that team a couple years ago, the COVID team. The thing that was really impressive about them is they were leading the country in three-point shooting. And I think if BYU could be near the top 20 three-point shooting team, that may be able to catapult them to some wins and some success in the Big 12, because it's just such an important part of college basketball. And I don't think you have to be 7 feet and jumping out of the gym to be able to shoot threes. I mean, you can get some guys that are super skilled and can be a real threat from the 3. And if you could shoot the ball well from 3, you're going to be in a lot of games and you'll win some games. So I guess number one is get some big guys. Number two, get a couple of real sharpshooters. Now, that's easier said than done. I mean, everybody's looking for big guys and sharpshooters, but that's where you need to focus your attention if you can get it. And I hope this year, maybe you are able to get some guys that maybe you otherwise wouldn't with the Big 12, and that's the hope anyway. That's the whole point of it, really, is to be able to have more resources and play in bigger games and bigger TV exposure, and that excites young kids, and they want to be a part of that, and maybe you get some players that you couldn't in the past.
Mark, in this day and age of name, image, and likeness and all of the money that's being thrown around in the NIL game, is it as simple for BYU as, well, come up with more money from the boosters and whatnot so that you can have more to offer to the players?
It's getting a little bit that way, right, Spencer? I mean, for BYU TV to keep you, they got to pay you a lot. I know that much.
What?
Jerem, not so much. I mean, Jerem,
This internship's been awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, you have to be competitive. I mean, you can't be at the bottom of the Big 12 as far as what you're offering kids. You're probably not going to be up near Kansas either. But you need to be able to, if Iowa State or Oklahoma State is paying a certain amount, you need to be able to say, yeah, that's about what we're paying. And, there's no real financial incentive for you to go somewhere else. But then look at all these other things that we offer and the environment and all the things that BYU can bring to the table. But you need to be somewhat competitive. You need to be in the mix. You can't be a cheapskate anymore. Let's put it that way. You can't nickel and dime these kids. It's a different world. They're expecting to get paid a little bit, especially the premier type players. And so you need to be able to put together a whole package, and not the least of that is a decent NIL option. And the other thing that I think is cool, and you look at Gideon George and Fusini and others, is the ability to do things that's not just about you. It's about their charities and doing things back in Africa and the inner cities, and you could really do some great things with what BYU has to offer with their support, with charity and things that these kids aren't all about themselves. They want to get the NIL money. They don't want to get not get that. Obviously, if it's there, they want it, but they also want to make a difference in the world. And I think BYU is a unique opportunity for them to do those kind of things.
Certainly more than an athlete here at BYU for sure. What are your thoughts on the need to win now, and that probably means transfers, right? But also the ability to recruit and get kids out of high school that you develop, like a Dallin Hall. Sometimes they go on missions, right, if they're a member of the church. If they're not, they come in and they play right away or whatnot. What are your thoughts on sort of how roster compositions are evolving given the need to win now and what the transfer portal perhaps offers in that regard?
Well, Jerem, I think it's as most things, it's a balancing act. I think Gonzaga over the years has been a good example of how to do that. They do have guys that they bring in and develop. They also do so well in the transfer portal, and it's an attractive place for guys in the transfer portal that maybe didn't have success for whatever reason at a Power 5 school, and that they know they can go to Gonzaga and be successful and get to the tournament. And you see a lot of NBA players from Gonzaga. I think that's kind of the model that you want, is to make sure that you're not neglecting bringing in freshmen like Dallin Hall, Richie Saunders, and Toulson and others. And because I think that has to be the core of your team. That has to give you a foundation, and that has to give you a continuity. And when those kind of guys get to be juniors and seniors, they've really developed and they can really make you into a good basketball team. But you need to obviously now pepper that with really good transfer players. The trouble with the transfer portal is it can be hit and miss. One year you strike the lottery, and the next year you come up empty. And so it's hard to rely and base your whole program on the transfer portal, because you want to have some, continuity and consistency. And so I think it's a mix. Preferably, I'd like to really have a solid, 2/3 of guys you bring in and work with and keep and develop and get better, and then you're bringing in three or four players every year in the transfer portal just to try and accentuate the guys that you already have and get better. And it's just, you have to do it. I mean, that's just the way it is. You have to do it. It's coaching malpractice if you're not really hitting the transfer portal hard and making that happen. But you have to have a solid core of guys that are just kind of all about BYU, and they choose BYU, and they're staying at BYU, and I think that's important.
And BYU certainly has several of those guys on the roster currently. However, in the fall, BYU did not sign anyone out of high school, maybe for the first time ever. Any concern about that? They do have Jake Wallin coming back from a mission.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a concern, but it's, you can't kind of base it on 1 year. If that was a pattern over many years, you'd really look at it. But the rosters are so volatile with the transfer portal, with missions at BYU, that it may just so happen that BYU was kind of full up and didn't really, there was no one really speaking to them out there. Obviously, there's some exciting young high school players. I really like this Kozlowski kid, and so I mean, you're working on guys, but some years it's just like, we got a lot of guys coming back, and we're expected to have these guys on the transfer portal, and maybe this isn't the year that we bring in a high school kid. I mean, that used to not be the case, but given circumstances in the world today and how things are different, you may have a year where you don't do that, and so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't like that principle, generally speaking, for the long term, but it may be just, it was kind of that something odd that happened this year, so we'll see.
BYU basketball radio analyst Mark Durrant's with us on BYU Sports Nation. Mark, I keep hearing in all of the circles that I usually participate in with conversation that well, BYU's got to make changes then. It was just such a rough season. They got to make major changes. Well, what are those changes? What changes do you anticipate the BYU is going to have to make from an overall standpoint moving forward into the Big 12?
Well, I wish I hung out in Spencer Linton circles. Let me tell you that much. That's some elite stuff there, man. But
you're always invited, Mark. You're always invited.
You know, I'm probably not in that group. I don't think drastic changes are needed. This year's team, I thought performed well. I like the fact that BYU has high expectations and expects great things, and I like that. I want that to be the case always. You know, this team played hard, and you know, but for a few bounces here and there, and a couple different games, you know, it would be a different conversation, I think. But the fact is that they did bounce their way, and they did lose the games, and didn't make the postseason tournament, and that's hard to swallow. Maybe you can swallow it for a year or two and going into the Big 12, but long term, you have to perform. So if you didn't get the performance you needed out of the guys that you have, then yeah, something has to change or you'll get the same result. I do think, you know, BYU has some younger guys, like we mentioned, Dallin and Richie, they'll get better. Jackson will get better. Foose will get better. That's just because that's the way it is. Another year, as good as they are, they'll get better. So there's a change for you in the guys that you have. Without making a change, you'll get better performance because those guys will get better. But I think you need some – I think a real problem this year was leadership. I think at the end of the season, Rudy was better at that, and BYU was better because Rudy was a bit of a leader at the end. But you need to have a good leader on your team. You need to have size, I think, was a big problem this year, even though BYU was still able to rebound well with the size that they did have. And then they need to be more consistent, better shooters. I don't know. So those are things you do need to change. So when you're going into the transfer portal, you have those things in mind. And when you craft an offense and defense around your team, those are things you have in mind. But I don't know. You throw out the baby with the bathwater here. I think these are changes that you can work with and try and add a few pieces and get your guys that you have better. And I think if you do that, you weren't very far off this year. If you can make some incremental changes, then maybe you can get to where you need to be. Now, with that said, of course, you're going into Big 12, and so it's not a matter of getting a little bit better so you can finish in the top 3 in the West Coast Conference. I mean, that's out the window now, and now you're just trying to win some games in the conference that you're in. And so maybe you do need even more change, but I'm confident with Mark Pope and his staff. I love Mark Pope. I think he's the right guy. And we'll see how the transfer into the Big 12 with the new resources and exposure, maybe that will give him the ammunition that he needs.
Mark, great to talk with you as always. We appreciate the insights. And I know that you have your blue goggles hidden there somewhere, and that we can, you know, if you want to join in a conversation later, we can put those blue goggles on together and talk about the future.
Hey, listen, I went to Dr. Hoops Vision, and he put in blue contacts for me, permanent. So it's always blue for me. Everything's blue.
Mark, thanks so much for the time.
See you guys.